So we have a big breaking news coming out. Please share this video. Today is March 4th, 2025. And welcome to the Real GS News channel. Guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up. And once again, thank you so much for your support. Now, we talked about this last night, but we have more breaking news updates. Once again, Canadian Premier threatens to cut off US electricity exports. Says America needs to feel the pain. New York, Michigan, and Minnesota. 1.5 million could be impacted, or possibly more. All right, so once again, they are warning that they will turn off the lights. And the reason why, give me a second here. The reason why is because of the tariff that Donald slapped them in Mexico and also the Red Dragon. Now it says here, Ontario Premier threatens to cut off U.S. electricity exports amid Donald's trade war escalation, in a bold escalation of tension between Canada and the U.S. Once again, Ontario Premier Doug has threatened to halt electricity export to the U.S. with a smile on my face as President Donald renewed trade war intensifies. Man. Now, Ford remarks made on March 3rd, 2025 come as Donald administration imposed a 25% tariff on Canadian goods effective March 4, 2025, prompting fears retaliation rhetoric from Canadian leaders. Wow. So once again, tensions are really high. This time, it's not Russia and Ukraine. This time it's here, the North and the South. The Premier's statement, widely reported across mainstream media, underscores the deepening economic rift between the two nations and highlights the critical role of energy in their interconnected economies. Speaking at a mining convention in Toronto, Mr. Ford declared that if they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I would do everything, including cut off their energy, with a smile on my face, according to the Toronto Sun. Now, he emphasized the leverage Ontario holds, stating they rely on our energy. They need to feel the pain. They want to come at us hard. So we are going to come back twice as hard. Not looking good. Absolutely not looking good. And I'm gonna play the video for you guys. I will play the video, and very, very important message that he's putting out here. So the NYP, New York Post, echoed this settlement, noting that Ford's threat targets states like New York, Michigan, and Minnesota, which deepened heavily on Ontario's electricity export. In 2023, Ontario powered 1.5 million U.S. homes, making it a significant supplier to these border regions. Now, the backdrop to Ford's warning is Donald's decision to enact sweeping tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China, fulfilling a campaign promise to address trade imbalances and border security issues. Now, the Associated Press reported that Donald announced the tariff will take effect on March 4th, 2025, after a 30-day delay expired, leaving no room for further negotiation. Now, Donald has tied the tariffs to demand for Canada and Mexico to curb the flow of migrants and drugs, particularly fentanyl, into the sleeping giant, though Canadian officials argue their border possess minimal risk in this regard. Now, Mr. Ford's threat has drawn significant attention to the Canada's outsized role in U.S. energy imports. The Fox News report highlighted that Ontario's electricity export to the U.S. generated record of $5.8 billion in revenue in 2022, illustrating the economic stakes involved. Meanwhile, you have the news clarified that while Ford's comments focus on electricity, Ontario is not a major oil producer, and distinguishing his threat from broader energy retaliation involving oil rich provinces like Alberta. And it says here analysts cited by the news express skepticism about Canada cutting off oil exports given their economic reliance on the US market, but Ford's electricity gambit could still disrupt power supplies in key American states. Once again, this is very important here. Analysts cited by the news express skepticism about Canada cutting off oil exports, given their economic reliance on the U.S. market, but Ford's electricity gambit could still disrupt power supplies in key American states. Not all Canadian leaders align with Ford's aggressive stance. Okay, so a lot of leaders is telling Ford, hey, not like that, Ford. Not like that. Ford is like, this is my Canada. My Canada. And I don't like the Donald. So it says here the AP noted that Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, who oversees Canada's oil-rich province, rejected the idea of halting energy shipments, favoring diplomacy over retaliation. Smith, speaking on January 13, 2025, argued, you should never, ever threaten something you cannot do, signaling a divide among provincial leaders. This is why you cannot allow your feelings to get out of control. You have to be very humble, slow to anger. I mean, this is what all leaders need. You got to be wise and stuff like that. Sometimes you let your anger, frustration get the best of you, and that's when regrets comes into place. So these regional tensions was further explored by Political, which reported on January 15, 2025, that Prime Minister Justin warned everything is on the table, though he faces challenges unifying premiers on a cohesive response. The Guardian contextualized Ford's threat within the broader trade war, noting that Ontario's economy, 85% of whose exports go to the U.S., is particularly vulnerable to Donald tariffs. Ford's rhetoric aims to pressure U.S. state gov and highlight the mutual dependency of North American economies. However, the outlet questioned how much authority Ford has to enact such a policy, as intentional energy decisions typically fall to Canada's federal gov. Now, Donald tariffs have already sparked retaliatory measures from Canada. The NYP, New York Post, reported that Canada plans to impose tariffs on $155 billion worth of U.S. goods, including alcohol and fruit, in response. This tit-for-tat escalation has raised fears of a full-blown trade war, with Political warning on March 3rd, 2025, that such measures could push Canada into a recession by mid-year while increasing cost for American consumer. Once again, The Hill quoted Ford doubling down on his pledge to match tariffs dollar for dollar, signaling united front with the federal gov despite eternal disagreement. As of March the 4th, 2025, the situation remains fluid. The Toronto Sun reported Ford's confidence in Canada's ability to prevail, with the premier asserting, I didn't start this tariff war, but we're going to win this tariff war. Yet the economic fallout on both sides of the border looms large. Economists cited by the AP predict that Donald tariffs will raise prices for U.S. consumers on essential like food, clothing, and automobiles, while Canada faces absolutely devastating consequences. As Justin Trudeau warned earlier this week, Now, Ford's provocative stance has amplified the stakes in this trade dispute, casting a spotlight on the fragility of Canada-U.S. relations. Whether his threat cut off electricity export materializes or proves to be a negotiating tactic remains uncertain, but it has undeniably intensified the rhetoric in an already heated conflict. As reported across Fox News, you got multiple news outlets. The coming weeks will test the resilience of this decade-old partnership, with energy emerging as a pivotal battleground. All right, I want to play the video really quick, guys, and again, his story is trending. Once again, Canadian Premier threatens to cut off U.S. electricity exports. Says America needs to feel the pain. Wow. Let me just bring this up really quick here. If you can, please share the video. And once again, thank you so much for your support, either through Cash App or PayPal. Thank you so much. Your support truly, truly helps out. Thank you so much. Give me a second here, guys. Oh, I want to bring this up really, really quick. He also said this, all right? So he also said this. Let me just play this video, and I do have a couple more, all right? So let me just play this one here. Give me a second. Hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright. I gotta bring myself right here really quick, all right? Let me just set up the audio. Here's, you see the bottom, the captions, the subtitles. You can check it out down there too.
Going one step further, we're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done, it's gone. Going one step further, we're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done, it's gone. We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks on our province and our country, alongside federal tariffs and the measures my fellow premiers are bringing forward. This Team Canada's opening response, going one step further.
Wow. That's a big breaking news here, guys. So once again, he's on a roll. He's on a roll. We're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done. It's gone. Wow. He's going after Elon or tariffs. Both. I want to bring this one up really quick here, guys. So you have Donald. Well, let's see what's going on with this one. Whoops. Okay, give me a second here. I have to block that logo up there so I don't get hit with a copyright.
At 12:01 a.m., President Trump stabbed America's best friend in the back. My message to the president is this: Canada will fight back. We will defend our people and our economy, and we will put Canada first. There's no doubt that our economy will suffer, but so will yours, President Trump.
Ooh.
In fact, you're already paying the price, with trillions of dollars erased in stock market value over the last month of these threats. Already Americans are paying higher gas prices, as at midnight, a new American gas tax kicked in on U.S. working class taxpayers and motorists. Your workers will soon start losing jobs they had upgrading Canadian raw materials, which, by the way, you were getting at an incredible and ridiculous bargain. And your businesses will be selling fewer products to your closest neighbor. And that's only the beginning. While Canadians are slow to anger and quick to forgive, once provoked, we fight back. And we will fight back.
Wow. Canada will fight back. Man. I want to bring this next video here. This is the one that was making headlines. Alright, so let's see what's going on with this one. Please share the video, guys.
The dollars of contracts that we have with the U.S. We are the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world. We buy over 3,600 products from 35 states. I talked to the governor of Kentucky and Mitch McConnell. Don't touch our bourbon. I'm going after absolutely everything. And I don't want to. We keep the lights on to 1.5 million homes in manufacturing in New York, in Michigan, and in Minnesota. If he wants to destroy our economy and our families, I will shut down the electricity going down to the U.S. And I'm telling you, we will do it. It's unfortunate. I would rather ship you more electricity, ship you more critical minerals. I want to ship you more energy, more potash to keep your farmers going, and uranium that you use for your nuclear power. It comes through from Saskatchewan over to Ontario, and it's going to be a massive, massive problem. I'm telling you, we love the Canadians love Americans. I love the U.S. Everyone does. And not one American friend. When I lived there for 20 years, I've talked to all of them. Hardcore Republicans are saying this is the biggest mistake President Trump has done, and we're dead against it. And I've yet to find one who supports him.
He could shut off light to 1.5 million homes. He could shut off light to 1.5 million homes in New York, Michigan, Minnesota. They could go dark. And again, I just posted a video about Walmart. The link will be in the comments box. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and all these other companies are sounding the alarm. Prices are going to hit the roof. All right, so this is where we at right now, guys. This is where we at. I will keep you updated when it comes to this news here. Give me a second. Let me just refresh the page really quick. Let me go back to on Twitter. If you can, please share this video. Okay, so I do have more breaking news. We're gonna see what's going on with this news here, but it's happening. Someone was kicked out from the what's his name? Donald was addressing the nation, and someone from the left, I forget his name, he was kicked out. That's gonna be my next Representative Al Green. He was kicked out. Alright, so again, seems like this is all the information when it comes to the tariff in Canada. So he's gonna turn off the light? That's the big question. I doubt it. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, that would be brutal. I mean, again, like I said, I think he said it out of anger, being frustrated, how Canada is getting hit with the tariff. But when it comes to stuff like that, my dad always say, never tell your enemy your next move. You do things, just professional and stuff like that. Not like crazy mafia stuff. But again, you don't tell anyone what you have, or what you carry, or this and that. You always want to remain silent. Always remain quiet. Be humble about it. But it seems like the premier, Mr. Ford, yeah, he was frustrated, and he couldn't control himself in that part. But if NY, Michigan, and Minnesota lights goes off, I mean that's war, man. Just turning off the lights for millions, that's brutal. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Monday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.